I will be co-workers with the guy I was abusive towards and bullied constantly back in high school. I might quit my job if he doesn't forgive me. I used to be a complete beach during high school. It was partly because my parents spoiled me too much with my good looks and myself too. I was extremely arrogant and selfish, but I'm very ashamed of the kind of person that I was. During high school, there was this boy who was kind of a loner. He was always busy studying and doing projects, so he had no friends and had no social life. Because of this, he was bullied very often. I wasn't friends with him because I was one of those cool girls, so I only hung out with other cool girls and boys. I was usually the center of attention at school too. We were the group of bad girls in school and I was their leader. Well, this boy was very intelligent and one of the top students in our grade. I, on the other hand, wasn't doing well with my grades, mostly because I wasn't spending time studying and was obsessed with other things. That's when I had the selfish idea of using this boy. So I befriended him and let him close in order to get some help in return with my studies, and he did help me a lot. Sometimes he helped me for hours before exams or coursework, and it helped my grades a lot. His friendship with me made him more popular as well. This kept going for almost 2 years, and I knew he liked me, but I never had feelings for him. He eventually asked me out and I responded horribly to it. I laughed at him, told him that he's not good enough for me, and since I didn't need his help anymore, I said that I only befriended him so that he would help me, not because I liked him in any way. I was a complete beach. After that I asked other girls to make fun of him constantly, which made his life difficult. So time passed and I only realized at college what a complete beach I was to him and other people. I've had therapy and I'm not the same person anymore. Right now I work in HR and I was going through the list of the people who are starting to work for us next week, since I'm the person who basically meets them on day one, handles all the process, etc. He turned out to be one of our new hires. I want to make things right with him and apologize for my horrible behavior, but I don't know how to do that. What should I do? I will be co-workers with the guy I was abusive towards and bullied constantly back in high school. I might quit my job if he doesn't forgive me. After lots of thinking about how I could fix my relationship with the guy I used to bully in high school, I decided to write him a handwritten letter and give it to him on the day that he starts. I wrote, "Hi James. You're probably surprised to see me here. I'm sure I'm not on your list of favorite people to randomly meet. Without any excuses, I want you to know how sorry I am about how I treated you in the past. When I look back at the things I've done, there's nothing in my life that I'm more ashamed of. I can't imagine how it must have been for you during that time, and I don't pretend to understand. I'm just sorry for all that I did. It haunts me every day in my life, and it should. You might think I'm only doing this to seek forgiveness to feel better about myself, or maybe I want to make sure nothing happens to my job and career. You have every right to think that. But this letter isn't about asking you to forgive me, or telling you how much of a changed person I am. That would make it all about me, but this is about you. It's about where we are right now. We're going to be co-workers, and I want you to know that I will never ever do anything that might make your life difficult at work. It's funny I say that, because my mere existence here will probably cause just that. And even if it doesn't, how can you trust any word that comes out of my mouth? You shouldn't. But that's all I have to work with. I don't know how you think of me at this time, or whether you want to talk to me about the past or not. It's your decision and I will comply with whatever you decide. If you decide to not talk about the past at all, I'm fine with that. When I return, we'll go through the rest of the formalities like professional colleagues, and we only speak when we have to. If you want to talk to me about the past, that's fine as well. Be assured that it won't be about me. If you need someone to yell at, someone to be angry at, or even a punching bag, I can be those things. You have every right to work in a place where you feel happy and safe. If my existence threatens that, which is completely understandable, then we shouldn't work in the same place. So if that's the case, just give me the word and I will request a transfer or I will quit. This offer is open-ended. Regardless of what you decide or how you think about me, I genuinely wish you well. These are my contact details." So on the day, when he saw me, he was shocked and clearly shaking. When I offered to shake his hand, he was very stressed. I proceeded to give him the above letter in an envelope and then invited him to his desk. I tried to act completely professionally. I gave him the very basic info, then told him that I will be back with the rest of the things in half an hour, to give him time to read the letter and feel more comfortable. When I was back, he was more relaxed, so we went through the rest of the stuff, and at the end he passed me a note which said, 6:30 Cafe X, which is right around the corner. So I went in there and he was there. We sat there for a couple of minutes, not saying anything. Eventually I asked how he's doing and if he read the letter. Then he burst into tears and I couldn't stop my tears as well. After a couple of minutes, he told me that he was ready to quit on day one if I hadn't given him that letter. I reminded him that I should be the one who leaves, but he told me that it's not necessary. He told me that for a couple of years he wished me dead, and even though he managed to move on, he never stopped feeling angry towards me until he saw me again. We talked a lot and got everything out. It was almost 9:30 when we were done. The first 2 hours were about our past, but the final hour was mostly a friendly conversation. We didn't talk again that week. This week, he approached me during lunchtime and we had a short chat about random things. Today, He asked to see me again after work. We had a short chat and he brought up the letter again. He told me that he had time to think about everything. He said that he wasn't convinced that I was changed back then, but now that he's seen me around for 2 weeks, he thinks that I might have changed. He told me that he's willing to forgive me as well as put the past behind us, and we shook hands as friends. At the end, he said that I owe him a lifetime of favors. I've never been happier in my life and I can't stop crying.